Hi guys, it's Borkson. Hello, welcome to my channel if you are new here. Channels if you are new here. Welcome back if you've been here before. So you guys seen the title. So guys, I know I gotta show you guys I'm wearing my pink glasses. I want to talk to you guys about my personal experience being raised by an age gap couple. Guys, you know what I did? I filmed the whole video about like 80%. And I filmed it on the wrong tablet and I ran out of space. This is the second time I film this. Okay guys, so before we get into the video, I can't speak for Derek. I can't speak for Rupert, my brother, on how was like having a father who married a younger woman. I can only speak for me. And there's a lot of people out there like Larry and Mindy. Well, I want to give you guys my experience of being raised with an age gap couple. If you guys don't know me personally, you probably don't know. My father was 22-ish years older than my mother. Also, guys, I was also raised by a physically disabled couple. But this video is just going to focus on their age gap. Now, guys, you know I've been saying I was only going to make this video after my father passed away, not to embarrass him. There's a couple videos I wanted to wait till God called him home to make, just not to embarrass him, and this is one of them. Another one will be my experience with a parent with myasthenia gravis. So, like I said, my mother had multiple sclerosis. Or you may not know, I made that video like a billion years ago. The quality was bad. But I never made it for the second channel. But anyway, guys, further ado, let's get into the video we're actually talking about. My dad's age made him a better father. Well, according to Rupert, it definitely did, guys. If you guys don't know, my father was married twice, had 2 sets of children. So we'll get into that a little bit more later on. But from my father's experience in life, and he was born in 1934, guys. My father was 91, almost, when he passed away. So you guys do the math. My father's been gone as of a week. It will be 3 months. So this is still very new. Eventually, I'll be doing a story explaining how my father died a while later when my tears have fully dried. My mother died of a heart failure. She had a heart attack and a massive stroke. A massive heart attack and a massive stroke. My father had a massive stroke as well, we believe. The doctors didn't catch it. I did. I was his caretaker. So yes, guys, he told me stories about growing up and just people made fun of us. Yes, guys, people would come up to me in public and be like, "Sweetheart, or where are your parents?" They talk to me first off like my hearing impairment's worse than what it really is, and they come up and insult me because I'm disabled. I wear glasses. Because when I made that face, I like to feel the tops of my cheeks hitting my glass, and it's a tick. Excuse that. If I make that weird smile, I like feeling it. People would make fun of us and say, like, "Where's your real parents? Where's your real mother and father?" Guys, first off, my mother, only being 30-some years older than me, is not a big deal. I had friends and known people whose parents were same amount of space as me and my mother were an age gap. So that was odd. My brother is 28 years older than me. My sister was 30 years older than me. Like I said, we're not talking for Derek, but it was so weird to have a brother and sister that are old enough to be my parents. I have to this day, guys, have never met Rupert. I would love to eventually because Dad wanted us all to get along. Most of my cousins were old enough to be my parents. Like my first cousins, guys, except for 2 that are old enough to be my children. Guys, guess what the funny thing is? You know what the funny thing is? I have an uncle who has a wife. His age gap is 22 years younger than him on my mom's side. So funny. So, guys, yeah, so most of my cousins, now on my dad's side, are like, a lot of their kids are older than me. But some of my first cousins on my mom's family are older than me. Like, their children are older than me. Same thing on my dad's side. But my dad's nieces and nephews are like 55 plus. So it kind of makes sense. And some of their grandkids, I think, are older than me. My uncle, who's like my favorite person in the world, his granddaughter is older than me by a couple years. People thought my parents were my grandparents. I got this a lot, guys. I would get this all the way up until a few months ago. The paramedics assumed I was his granddaughter when I was screaming and having a panic attack, screaming when my father fell. So they thought I was his granddaughter. I think at the hospital they thought I was his granddaughter. coming in having a panic attack. I could see why they might be like, where is his daughter and why is the granddaughter here? Yeah, most people thought that. They even told me to go get my real mother because this old, ugly woman could not have been my mother. First off, if you guys would have seen my mother did up, there was nothing old or ugly about her. My mother lived to 54-ish. She never lived a day to be old. My grandparent, I had to worry about things that most people my age never had to worry about. Like my parents having another stroke, my parents having a heart attack. My father, thank God, never had a heart attack, but the doctors were worried about that. I had to worry about my father dying for most of my life because when I was, like I said, guys, I think it was another video. Both my parents were disabled, so they told me that I could just look at my father, his heart could stop beating, and he could die. Well, that was because my parents were both disabled. I had to worry about things that no one should have to worry about. But you know what, guys? I'm checking the time, guys. You know something? Sorry, I'm an itch. You guys know something that was really sweet about having age gap parents, older parents? My mom used to tell me stories about growing up in the 60s. My mom was born in like the mid 50s. I got to hear stories about that. I got to hear stories about growing up in World War II. My father and his brothers and sisters grew up in World War II. My dad was the same age as Lucy is in the Narnia books when World War II happened. I got to hear firsthand experience about the blackouts, and they were afraid of all those other things going on. Guys, if you guys want, I could do a separate video on my experience of growing up with a parent who was a child in World War II. Guys, my dad talked about pulling those wagons and to make money and all. Guys, by the way, in my father's era, people with special needs, we didn't have SSI back then. We didn't have food stamps, I don't think, back then. Or if they did, I think they did. My grandmother just didn't go for them. My father was raised by a single mother who could never speak a word of English, who actually died the same way my dad did. TMI, a little too gross, but her cause of death was similar to my father's. Their accident was the same. When I hear, guys, that's creepy. But guys, I have so much experience from growing up. I used to go to Toys R Us with my dad, and people would say to me, "You're so nice to hear about your grandpa." People would say, "Oh, it's nice to bring in a granddaughter." My dad said, "What granddaughter? That's my daughter. That's my little girl. That's my pride and joy." And I asked Dad in the end if he would have had it any other way. Not to make him feel bad, but if he could have had a non-disabled child without... Guys, I was born at 112 and was given 12 hours to live at the day of my birth. I asked my father if he wouldn't have had premature children. I think we were all preemies. I think most of my siblings were preemies. Yeah, I think they said Pert was underweight too at birth. I asked my dad if he would rather have had children that were not born premature. He said no. He said, I'm all for saving the lives of preemies. Dad, even when he had votes out for to stop the saving the lives of premature children, my dad went and voted. My father didn't vote, TMI, guys. He voted against it to save the lives of the premature babies. So I taught him something, and Dad even said that I was his pride and joy. And it's just weird to know he's not here anymore, guys. So it's kind of, you hear in my voice that it was really creepy the way he died. Woman. I watched both. Sorry, guys, I'm gonna itch my nose. Both my parents' lives were diminished because of... Like I said, one of my uncles married a woman 20-some years younger than him. And the whole family didn't bat an eye because of my parents. Like, Aunt Shelley and Uncle Rupert did that. Uncle Pert did that. It depends on which side of the family talk to, which name they call them. And another weird thing. So yes, guys. So that's my experience being raised by an age gap couple. If If you guys want to see my experience with my parents' disabilities or how much it changed my personal life, guys, comment it down below. But anything like you're gross or disgusting, like your parents are nasty, I will be blocking and deleting you for saying it. I've had people tell me to my face that my father was an old fart and there was something wrong with my mother for marrying him. And guys, marrying my father was the best thing my mother ever did outside of having me. And baby, the doctors, actually TMI guys, told my parents it was better off to not carry me to term. Fun fact, I wasn't carried to term. I was born 3 months premature and given 12 hours to live. Almost 2.5 months premature. I was the best thing that ever happened to my father. So guys, I'm going to start babbling off, but okay, remember to comment, like, share, subscribe. Go over and hit the bell for post notifications. Bye guys.